Have you ever seen a rumor spread so fast it becomes accepted as fact until someone finally stands up and says, "That's not how it happened"? Today, we dive into exactly that moment, when one of Hollywood's most recognizable stars dropped the curtain on family gossip. In this story, what seemed like innocent assumptions spiraled into headlines until the truth came out. This is about love, misunderstanding, and a public reaction to a private life. Because sometimes, what people think they know is far from the truth. The rumor that refused to die. For months, and in some cases even years, gossip columns and social media were abuzz with speculation about how Chris Pratt met his wife, Katherine Schwarzenegger. The prevailing story suggested that their first meeting was orchestrated by her mother, a figure well known in her own right. It was a tidy, appealing narrative. Families connect, approvals are granted, and love blossoms, a storyline that fits perfectly into the Hollywood romance playbook. However, as often happens with celebrity rumors, small assumptions grew, details became distorted, and eventually, this version of events hardened into what many accepted as fact. Fans repeated it, media outlets published it, and it became embedded in public perception. Yet, for Chris and Katherine, the story simply didn't align with reality. That rumor wasn't just slightly off, it erased the authentic moment that had truly sparked their connection. The idea that they were set up implied convenience and propriety, almost as if their relationship had been carefully calculated from the start. But if that wasn't the case, then the entire narrative of their romance needed to be reconsidered. Their love story, rather than being a manufactured arrangement, was a genuine meeting between two people drawn together by chance and connection. By correcting the misconception, Chris and Katherine reclaimed the truth of their beginning, reminding everyone that real love often defies expectations and doesn't always follow the neat, scripted storylines that tabloids and gossip columns prefer to tell. The real moment. Church. Surprise. Truth. Then came the moment Chris Pratt finally spoke up, clear, direct, and honest. In a recent interview, he revealed the truth. He did not meet Katherine Schwarzenegger through any family introduction. There was no orchestrated dinner or carefully arranged meeting. Instead, their first encounter happened at a church in Hollywood, a setting far removed from the glitzy, glamorous backdrops people often imagine in celebrity romances. Chris admitted he was only human, that he looked over and saw Katherine, and was instantly captivated. He wasn't attempting to check out anyone at church, but in that moment, he felt a genuine connection. He recalled being there with his son, picking him up from a kids program, when he noticed Katherine across the room. That seemingly simple moment was where their story truly began. By speaking out, Chris wanted to set the record straight. When he said, "Let's settle it now," he meant it. He was determined to prevent rumors, assumptions, and false narratives from defining their love story. He wanted the public to know the real story, unfiltered and authentic. For fans, this revelation reshaped the narrative entirely. It transformed their romance from a convenient setup into a genuine human connection. Chris's honesty reminded everyone that real love often begins in unexpected, ordinary moments, far from the polished stories tabloids spin. And in revealing the truth, he allowed fans to celebrate the authenticity behind their relationship, the start of a love story grounded in chance, sincerity, and the heart. Why the clarification matters for them and us. At first glance, you might think this is just celebrity gossip. Oh, who they met and where. But Chris Pratt's clarification carries weight far beyond simple rumor control. Here's why it matters. First, it preserves authenticity for Chris and Katherine. Their relationship is not about Hollywood convenience or manufactured headlines. They weren't set up or plotted together. They met by chance, and their love developed naturally. This revelation transforms their story into a genuine human connection rather than a calculated narrative. Second, it challenges the assumptions we, as the audience, often make about public relationships. When we see a famous couple, it's easy to imagine orchestrated meetings, publicity stunts, or behind-the-scenes matchmaking. But love doesn't always follow a script. Sometimes, it starts with a simple glance, a quiet moment, or an unexpected encounter in this case, a humble church visit. Third, it highlights the power of narrative. Rumors and assumptions can easily rewrite reality, creating a version of events that feels true but isn't. One honest statement, like Chris's, can change that completely. In a world where media often prioritizes sensationalism over truth, real honesty becomes both rare and powerful. By speaking up, Chris Pratt not only corrected the record but also reminded fans that authentic connections can exist even under the public eye. His clarification transforms a simple story of who met whom into a lesson about truth, love, and the value of human moments beyond the glare of Hollywood. What we know now: family, faith, and reality. With the record finally corrected, Chris Pratt's public life and personal story start to make more sense. Since marrying Katherine Schwarzenegger in 2019, the couple has built a life grounded in genuine love, mutual respect, and real parenting. Their connection isn't based on glitzy headlines or orchestrated introductions. It's based on authentic moments and shared experiences. Last year, they welcomed their son, and together with their daughters, they've created a family life that thrives quietly, away from the relentless spotlight of Hollywood. Their home, their routines, and their parenting all reflect a focus on love and stability rather than public perception. Chris's past relationships, including his marriage to Anna Faris, have shown his commitment to maturity and balance, particularly in co-parenting his older son. This dedication to respect and thoughtful family dynamics likely influenced the kind of husband and father he became when he met Catherine. It also shows how personal growth and life lessons shape meaningful, long-lasting relationships. Now that the false rumors about their meeting have been laid to rest, the narrative is simpler and far more powerful. Their story isn't about convenience, hype, or Hollywood spectacle. It's about a man, his faith, a quiet church, a single glance that sparked connection, and a family built on real love. By sharing the truth, Chris and Catherine remind everyone that love doesn't always follow a script, and sometimes the most extraordinary stories are quietly human. The fallout, what people said, what changed. As soon as Chris Pratt's statement hit the headlines, reactions poured in from all directions. Some fans felt a sense of relief finally, the real story was out. Others felt surprised, or even a bit betrayed, thinking the previous narrative had been too simplistic or misleading. Yet, the majority responded with respect, appreciating his transparency and his refusal to let gossip define his personal history. The revelation also sparked broader conversations about pop culture and celebrity life.
I've met Catherine, now it's been 5, maybe 6 years ago, and God has a fast forward button, you know, like when it's right, boom, you hit, you fall in love, you get married.
It highlighted just how quickly rumors can take root, how family stories can become public myths, and how much, or how little, celebrities owe the media regarding their private lives. In many ways, it became a teaching moment. Even public figures deserve honesty in how their stories are told. For fans, this moment was more than just correcting a rumor. It was a reminder that what truly matters isn't how tabloids spin a story, but the truths we carry in our own hearts, and the timing of when we choose to share them. This clarification didn't erase Chris and Catherine's past. It didn't make their early romance flashier or more dramatic. Instead, it reframed it, emphasizing authenticity over spectacle. In a world dominated by curated images and carefully crafted narratives, moments of genuine honesty like this are rare. Chris Pratt's statement reminded everyone that real love, real connections, and the courage to tell your own story hold far more power than any rumor or headline ever could. Why this story resonates beyond Hollywood. Think about it. How many times have you heard a simplified version of someone's life? A version where introductions are neat, timelines are tidy, and everything seems perfect. And yet, behind that polished version, perhaps there was a moment like Chris's church visit. Messy, uncertain, real. This isn't just about a celebrity. It's about fairness to real human stories. It's about seeing beyond assumptions. It's about giving people the dignity of true beginnings, not fabricated headlines. When Pratt announced the truth, he didn't just silence rumors. He reclaimed a piece of his life from public assumption. He said, "This is how it really happened." And that matters, because love, real love, doesn't need spin. It doesn't need orchestrated introductions or glamorous settings. Sometimes it begins in a church pew, sometimes in a moment you don't expect, and sometimes all you need is the courage to speak the truth. So next time you hear a rumor about a celebrity, a friend, or someone you barely know, remember this story, because behind every headline there's a truth, behind every assumption, a real moment. And sometimes, all it takes is one honest declaration to change the entire narrative. In a world chasing sensational stories, truth still matters. And when it comes, it speaks louder than any tabloid ever could.